My resurrection story started at a young age. My mother made sure that as children we were always in church. My father made us go, but he didn't go. He didn't believe in God at the time. So as I grew up, I knew there was a God and I knew there was a hell, and I just wanted to make sure I did enough just to make sure I didn't end up in hell. So I spent most of my life working for money. Money became my God. I made a lot of it at a young age, so that led into drinking and having fun. At least I thought I was having fun. I thought that's what life was all about. And it was in a bar where I met my wife, and because she was living the same type of lifestyle, of course, that just amplified from there. And then it just became all about worldly things and drinking and having fun. And it was never enough. The money was never enough. I had to make more. Even though I was making a lot of money at the time, that led me into gambling because I figured, hey, that's an easy way to double up. But I tried doing that for a while, made me even more depressed. So I'd get up in the morning to start the day with the drink, and I'd end the day normally depressed, having another drink, and I could never meet the goals that I thought I was trying to meet, the get-rich scheme that I was trying to fulfill. And that just kept spiraling and spiraling and spiraling. Kept getting worse and worse and worse. My wife got pregnant. I thought, maybe this is it. A child will change me. She ended up having a miscarriage, so that wasn't the answer either. I kept looking for all the wrong things to find the answer. And it was on a trip out of town in Palm Springs, and I was in a 350Z convertible. It was a very low to the ground car. And I say that because when you get to the outskirts of town, it's very dark. So when I say I was traveling down a dark road, I literally was traveling down a really dark road. The only thing out there are those big windmills. And the last corner street going out of town, I was T-boned by a drunk driver that hit me right in the driver's door, and it put the door into my ribs. And so my rib was literally in my lung, and I was bleeding to death. And it was at that time that God said, I'm not done with you yet. Even though you haven't really come to me, you've been going to everybody else but me. I'm not done with you yet. And because you're a gambler, so you don't think this is luck, I'm going to give you 3 miracles to get you out of this situation. And literally at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I mean in the middle of nowhere, an off-duty sheriff was jogging with his cell phone right at the time of the accident, called it in, so I was able to get not only the person that knew who to call, but somebody to get there immediately, because I literally had a time limit, not only multi-miracles, but a time limit to get out of the situation. He was able to call the right people. They were able to cut me out of the car, and 5 minutes down the road was one of the best hospitals in the country for that particular type of injury. They would chopper people in for that injury. So that's what God did for me. He saved me so I could use my addictions and turn them into blessings for others. And that's what I plan on doing for the rest of my life.